So we're now moving on to the second presentation by Nicole Wells. Nicole has had positions with the Electrical Trades Union, Fair Work Commission, Tasmanian Industrial Commission, and she works currently with Incolink Business Development Officer as the Business Development Officer. Incolink is Australia's largest construction industry redundancy fund, which also provides insurance cover and wellbeing services to its members. So I welcome Nicole, and she's here to talk to us about the new program called Bluehats. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you everyone for your attendance today. Firstly, I'd just like to thank Pamela for inviting me to this networking session and to share with you one of Incolink's initiatives in the construction industry, because we do have many. Today I'll be speaking about Incolink's suicide prevention program, which is known as Bluehats. Ooh, it worked. So background, Incolink has had 30 years of experience in suicide prevention in the construction industry. Recent spikes, we've had recent spikes of suicide in the industry. We've had a prevention education, which is on-site mental health toolboxes, intervention in the form of counselling and support for workers and their families who may be at risk. We've had on-site critical incident response when a suicide occurs, and postvention, which is long-term counselling to family members and work colleagues after a suicide. In 2018, Incolink and our industry stakeholders, including employers and trade unions, were concerned at a spike in suicides in the industry, which included both blue and white-collar workers. Incolink worked with unions and employers to design the Bluehats program, and that was to promote and create an industry community amongst the industry, attempt to break down the stigma attached to suicide, and to create an environment where workers feel safe to talk and seek help. Bluehats is a unique program in that it was developed as a collaborative, bipartisan, non-political program addressing suicide in the construction industry and is fully supported by employers and unions. A blue hat can be a blue or a white collar worker in our industry. So general awareness sessions. This is stage one of our program. The Bluehats program delivers in 2 stages and is not designed to be provided to individual workers, but to be provided to nominated work sites. We encourage all workers on a work site to attend the 1-hour general awareness session. The first stage of the program, which is a 1-hour mental health and suicide general awareness session, is delivered to up to 30 workers at a time on the construction site. We encourage workers to think about their mental health and to speak to others about it. So what is good mental health and wellbeing? That's one of the things that we talk about. Stress and other triggers, important questions to ask, warning signs to look for, looking after yourself, looking out for your mates, how to get help and where to go. Main messages and calls to action are to do something, not nothing, and sooner rather than later. And of course, it is okay not to be okay. Seek help, talk to someone. Do something, not nothing. Seek help and talk to someone. Do something sooner rather than later. Seek help, talk to someone. Talk to a blue hat on site. Seek help, talk to someone. Call Incolink Counselling 24/7 on our 1300 number. Seek help, talk to someone. Stage 2 of the program is, having attended the 1 hour general awareness session, workers can volunteer to attend further training to become a Blue Hat. Those who volunteer to become a Blue Hat are given a full day training off-site. Blue Hats are trained to learn to recognise when someone is experiencing thoughts of suicide or poor mental health and respond by connecting them with intervention support. The Blue Hats training includes Safe Talk, which is an internationally certified half-day training teaching people how to talk to others confidently about suicide. On completion of the full-day training, the participants graduate, receiving a certificate and a branded blue hard hat and poster with their photo identifying them as a Blue Hat to be placed on their site safety notice board. The branded Blue Hat is worn on site to identify the person as a qualified Blue Hat. And I'll just show you what that looks like. Incolink counsellors provide the Blue Hats with ongoing clinical support and education on suicide prevention by Incolink through digital messaging and personal contact. So the program delivery. The program was launched in October of 2018. The program's generated great bipartisan support in the construction industry, evidenced through a healthy delivery pipeline, and to date, the program has delivered 187 general awareness sessions on site, reaching almost 5,000 workers, 23 Blue Hat training sessions, 288 trained Blue Hats already providing support to their mates on work sites. In Tasmania, our delivery has been 5 general awareness sessions, including 12 Blue Hats who have volunteered for training, with that full day training to occur shortly. So the impact of Blue Hats. So we've got some statistics. Since the program was launched in 2018, the general awareness sessions have directly resulted in 671 post-session referrals to Incolink counselling. So when we hold a general awareness session, we always let everyone know who's participating that if they are struggling and need to talk to a counsellor, or if the content that we're talking about that day they find difficult to deal with, then we put them in contact with an Incolink counsellor immediately. Incolink also provides a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week counselling support, and since the launch of the program, we've experienced an uplift in the use of wellbeing face-to-face counsellors and after-hours phone support. Particularly of note, we have had 194 workers presenting with suicidal ideation. These presentations are an increase of 80% on the previous 2 years' counselling presentations. That's it. So I hope that you have found that information interesting and perhaps a little inspiring, and I'm happy to take any questions. Yes?
The stats that you just had up,
Mm-hmm.
are they national statistics? Oh, hello. Are they national statistics or are they Tasmanian?
No, they're Victorian, Tasmanian.
Right.
Yes, yes.
Do you know what the breakdown is?
No, I'm sorry, I don't. But I can find that out if you like.
No, that's okay. I was
Yeah.
just interested. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I have a comment.
Yes.
The comment is that I've noticed lately that the majority of shows on TV and on games on computers are all about kill and shoot and blow them up and bad endings. Has that got anything to do with people now wanting to commit suicide?
Unfortunately, I'm no expert in mental health. I'm a business development officer for Incolink, and one of the things I do is assist to roll out this program in Tasmania. So I probably know as much about that subject as you do, watching TV and hearing that one lot of research suggests that it does make a difference and another lot of research that suggests that it doesn't. You know, I think the increase in poor mental health is multifaceted, and I think certainly this year, for obvious reasons, for COVID and lockdowns and safety precautions that we've had to put in place, has meant you know, a massive increase in people seeking out these services. And there's no silver bullet, and I think there's some wonderful organisations out there that are doing a really good job, one of which you're going to hear from today, AusHelp. And, you know, Speak Up, Stay Chatty. Everyone's out there doing something, and it's almost like now, almost like a kid in a lolly shop. There's so much choice and so many options. It can be a bit overwhelming, I think, for employers and employees. But what a wonderful situation to have, where we're really putting this front and centre. So unfortunately, I don't have the expertise to be able to address your comment or question. I'm sorry.
I would echo what you've said, Nicole, particularly in relation to the fact that the causes of or reasons behind people taking their life are very complex. Of all the things that we don't know about why people take their life, we know that it's due to a range of different factors. Yeah, and that the research is certainly contradictory. We may know more perhaps in some decades' time. Yeah.
Nothing else? Yes.
Thank you. I attended one of those seminars, just the first ones, and a lot of that was aimed towards people in the industry from the fly-in, fly-out group. They're away from their families a lot. There's a lot of marriage breakdowns as a result of it, and there's also the fact that other people that have their personal problems at home sometimes bring them to work, and they just need to share that with somebody so they can feel a bit better about themselves as well. So it goes right across the board, you know. So there's particularly the people with the fly-in, fly-out, where there's a lot of you know, sort of long rotations away from home as well. So it places stress upon everybody.
Yes, and I think that's the unique thing about, I think, this program, is being able to identify, because a blue hat essentially is a mental health first aider who's done some training, and for your colleagues and your peers to be able to identify somebody on site easily by the fact that they wear a blue hard hat and that they're somebody that, you know, they can speak to. But you're right, fly-in, fly-out workers face their own unique and significant challenges, as do the communities where they work. And I just think any initiative where it makes it easier for a person who is experiencing poor mental health to gain easy access to somebody who has been trained at least to listen to them and then to refer them to the services that they most need. No, I think that's it. Thank you very much for your time.